Man said Route 1 over the top direct football. You know what? It could well be that. Do you know what I mean? And that will work with Hoyland and Rashford. I'm not gonna lie. Like whether we like it or not. Like even you saw Onana's pass into Rashford yesterday? Like
But
you
I
see
loved
that
it.
that kind of shit there. That's an extra 6 to 8 goals a season for us. You know, just having a goalkeeper that can do that. Maybe even more than that, because that brother literally just skipped the whole of the pitch and just went straight into the attacker, bro. And Allison does that with Salah all the time. All the time. And he did it with Mane as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So being able to do that, that's a cheat code, bro, right there. Especially when you've got Rashford's pace, because as much as he's frustrating, yeah, when he gets one-on-one through them balls over the top, most of the time Rashford scores. Most of the time he does. Pogba was dropping those on the end of his foot at one point, like every other game, and he was thriving in it. And the thing is, like, if he's gonna do that, that's gonna give us something else as well, man. So I think we have to just try and take in everything in it. There's positives, there's negatives, and there's a lot of gray areas. There's a lot of unknowns in it. There's a lot of unknowns. But one thing I know is I'm rating this goalkeeper, blood. Some of the shit I'm hearing from some of our ex-players is crazy, innit? I feel like them, I feel like they're trying to protect the hair in it, like because they
That's
played
what
with
it is.
him and because they played with him and stuff. But it's weird. Like he's not, he hasn't been good for like 5 years, blood.
Nah, that's what it is. But bro, to be fair, like you get that with every signing, innit? Especially when
Yeah.
it's a player that's been here for over a decade. And you have to bear in mind, like with Onana, people already had mixed views. Like I always say, like, yo, in 2023, if you still don't understand the benefits of a modern keeper, then there's no point in me wasting my time with you. But it's some people, it's just they love the old school way, like a keeper that just specializes in saving shots. And I'll be real, like with Onana, like you take the good with the bad, because even though I feel like he's been quality in possession, fam, I'll be real, like nobody spoke about it. But yo, when I saw that Bellingham goal, I was like, what's my man doing nearly outside his own box?
Outside the
Like,
box. Why is he that far out? Yeah.
bro, like, don't get me wrong, like I didn't want to come across like a negative guy and say it, because I was like, listen, I knew this is what I was gonna get with a modern keeper, because I've seen it happen to Edison, Ramsdale, this and that, yeah. But
And
I'll be
Alistair,
real.
this is what happens, bro. Like you have to take that. You have to take that, bro. There's always gonna be pros and cons. It's just like when you've got a Wan-Bissaka, like the pros are 1v1 defending, cool, innit? The cons are everything else, you know, like that. And then with Dalot going forward, unreal, bro. Look at the goal he scored the other day, bro. Wan-Bissaka wouldn't even have thought about shooting. One touch, slapped it top corner, going
You saw
past players
Wan-Bissaka's
and all.
shot.
That's
Bro, the second half, man, skied it out of the stadium. Bro, the
yeah.
technique on that shot was shocking.
Yeah,
Like, I
bro.
couldn't believe it.
And he used to be a winger, apparently. You know, like that. Man hit it out the stadium. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is. So with all of that stuff you get with Dalot, going the other way, there are gonna be times where positionally he's out of place or whatever. Bro, like you're never gonna get the perfect player. It's the same with Trent. It's the same with Trent. Defensively, he don't give you a lot, but on the ball, like imagine if Trent played in a possession-based team, yeah, he'd be all right. He could get away with that shit at Man City. Do you know what I mean? At Liverpool, because Liverpool playing transition ball, yeah, and their midfield was weak, he was getting victimized every week. But if he played in a team that kept the ball, he could get away with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's better than Zinchenko. And everyone was talking about, Zinchenko, the false left back, and how good he was for Arsenal and that. Imagine if that was Trent on the other side and he got in the position that Zinchenko was getting into. He'd be scoring goals as well.
Yeah, and it's like with the Trent thing, it's like I'll be real, like defensively for me, he's a shambles. But
yeah, he's terrible.
But what it is, it's like with Trent, I feel like it should have taught everybody that football is a team game, because especially when you look at Liverpool's, I'd say they had 2-3 relatively good seasons where they competed for the title, won the Champions League, and then they won the title. In those 2-3 campaigns, like everybody put in a shift, and people were compensating for Trent's lack of defensive awareness, because they were like, sweet, Trent defensively, he ain't the best, but yo, what Trent gives me in possession is probably the best in Liverpool, maybe even the league. Like in terms of creating chances from out wide, that brother's cross is one of the best I've seen. Like he literally puts it spot on for you. All you have to do is just tap it in. So it's a team game. And then once Liverpool lost their legs in midfield, Henderson aged, Fabinho lost his touch. That's when Trent got more and more exposed because Mandem didn't start playing towards their teammates. So with Man United, it's like as long as everybody plays and everybody's on the same wavelength and we play for one another, because that's something that we haven't been able to say for years. Like it's always been a one-man show. As long as we can do that, bro, then as long as we've got Donnies on the pitch where the positives outweigh the negatives, we're sweet. And that's how I look at Onana, where I'm like, now we've got a keeper. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There are going to be times this year where he is going to piss me off. I already know that. But
yeah,
positives outweigh the negatives.
But that's it. Is boy, when I look at a lot of these Man United players, though, it's like, did the positive outweigh the negatives? Not for me, you know.
There are a few. I can't lie. I don't mean there are a few that I've got a lot of question marks over.
Hey, bro, most of them don't. The positive don't outweigh the negatives for me. I can't lie, bro. Like, and this is what the problem is. Because like with Casemiro, the positives outweigh the negatives. I know what kind of player he is. Like Casemiro is one of them guys, yeah, who looks world class. Or he looks off it, you know them ones. Like that's just the kind of player he is because of his build. He's not really explosive, and he's not amazing on the ball. He's got very good technique on the ball, but he's not very, very composed on the ball. Innit? If you pressure him, sometimes you can catch him asleep. In it, like he plays with an element of composure that maybe he shouldn't play with because he don't have the feet to play like that. Do you know what I mean? He plays like he's got Frankie de Jong's feet, but he doesn't. Every time he gets the ball, he receives the ball like he's got 3 seconds, even when he doesn't always have 3 seconds. But that's because he's so confident in his ability. But the pros massively outweigh the cons, massively for me, because it's like even if he's not having a good game, yeah, you've still got his leadership qualities. You still got his ability to get in the box and score goals. You still got his ability to do loads of different things, like do vital things. So with Cass, it's one of them ones where the positives massively outweigh the negatives, but I know there are negatives there. And also I know that he's prone to getting a silly yellow or getting a red card. But I still wouldn't swap him, you know, like that. Everyone else in midfield, yeah, the cons are outweighing the pros, blood. Bruno, for me, the cons outweigh the pros. Same with Mount. Same with Ericsson. Like, bro, when I go through all these midfielders, McTominay, Fred, all of them, every single one of them, the cons outweigh the pros for me. Like, honestly, like if I was building a midfield at Man United, Casemiro is the only one I'm keeping and I'm getting rid of everyone else. Everyone else. Who's staying?
I can't lie, you know. You see with Casemiro, I love Casemiro, but yeah, I'll be real in it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Casemiro and Varane are both in Saudi next summer. I'll be real, like.
Nah, I think Cass has got another couple years. He's got I'm not including Mino because he's a baller. Like he can play, he can put his foot on the ball, blood, but he's still not 30 first team in it. Like, so I'm not including him. He's a baller. He's probably the best on the ball out of all of our midfielders. He's 18 years old. Tells you everything you need to know. And this is why Amrabat's so vital for me. Because when he comes in, proper midfielder.
I can't even lie though. I'll be real. Like I like what I've seen of Amrabat, what I've read, what I've like done my own research on. But as crazy as it sounds, I wouldn't be surprised if second half of the season Amrabat benches Casemiro, because I like Casemiro. Like I don't want to come across like I've got something against the guy.
No, but he's better on the ball than Cas. You're right. He is.
Bro, I think he's better than Casemiro in a few other things, to be fair. I think on the ball, he's better. I think.
No, but off the ball, he's more explosive. But
yeah,
the way that Cas reads things, innit? Like, Cas's thing's mad because it's like, even when you watch Casemiro, yeah, what's mad is like, you know what people sleep on? The amount of times Casemiro plays first time passes without looking. Like, he just knows where everything is. Like, even when he's receiving balls, he's playing the ball over, like, behind him and shit, around it, and he just knows where everything is. Like, his spatial awareness and everything like that is crazy, bro. Like, he's got the ability to read the game, similar to, like, what Michael Carrick had. So even though he's not the most mobile, he reads the game and he intercepts and he breaks things up really well, innit? What I like about Amrabat is similar how he puts himself about to a Declan Rice kind of mode, is in he's more powerful. He'll run, he'll slide in, he'll physically put himself about more like what Casemiro used to do maybe when he was younger. Do you know what I mean? Casemiro ain't got the legs like that no more. He's an older guy. When Cas was 25, he was running man down and doing that. He's not going to do that now. Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like they would complement each other with Amrabat in the 8 and Cas sitting more. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think Amrabat's just got more legs, in it. He's got more legs for sure. But I think in terms of reading the game, Casemiro's reading of the game is so underrated, bruv. Like, also in attacking sense as well. His line breaking passes are very good as well. In transition, a lot of the time he's the one playing that ball out into the wing.